Okay, so now this next technique that I wanted to show you is utilizing all kinds of different papers and napkins as a background. And instead of working in my art journal today, I am going to make a card for a girlfriend. It's her birthday next week, so just wanted to make a nice card for her and utilizing this technique. I can tell you that I learned this technique probably about a year and a half ago, and I can't stop doing it. One, it's so easy, it's fun, and I really love the look of this, especially for cards, but I do utilize it in my art journal as well as a background. So what we're going to do first is I'm going to show you the kind of papers that I use. So I really use everyday kind of papers. I love going to garage sales, and one thing that I always go to is I find sheet music there. I found these little tiny books there. This is a dictionary, or this is actually just a word book. It's fun to utilize these pages. This is a little pocket dictionary. Fun to use these pages. Book pages, any kind of books, book pages. This is an old check register. We don't really utilize these check registers anymore, so I just rip them up and utilize them as a background. And old or envelopes, privacy envelopes that come in the mail. I love these because they have a lot of different patterns on that show through the napkin. So I am going to use one of these today. So I'm just going to rip up a bunch of papers and put them down, and we'll get started. So I got all the different papers out that I'm going to use, and as you can see, I don't cut anything. I just rip and tear. I kind of like that look, and it's not about precision. Again, everything's going to get covered up and little bits and pieces are going to pop out. So it doesn't really matter if it's a straight line or a ripped line. So I'm going to get my Mod Podge and we're going to get to work. So now we got all the papers glued down, and as you can see, I do have some that have gone over, and that's okay because what we're going to do is we're going to trim all of that at the end. And I only did papers on the front of the card, although we are going to put the napkin down over the entire card, and I kind of like the contrasting look, and you'll kind of see what I mean when we get there. So this technique uses a napkin. I love going to Tuesday morning. If you have one of those stores, you can buy like a package of napkins for I think I got a package of these napkins for $2.99 or $1.99 for some of the smaller ones. And I love that. I also get them from my mom. My mom likes to have little brunches with her girlfriends, and she will theme them and buy napkins for them. So I usually get some leftovers from her as well. But any kind of napkins you can find. Now, if you did not know this, napkins on the back of napkins actually have two layers of backing. So not just one, but two. And what I normally do to get this layer off is I will put glue on one finger on one hand and one finger on the other hand. And what I do is I put those together and the layers just really rip off. It's very easy. Otherwise, you kind of spend a whole lot of time trying to get these layers off. And let's see, I got the first one off really easy. Let's try the second one. Okay, well, that second layer of the napkin was giving me a time. I know there's a second layer here, but I could not get it off for the life of me. So I went and got another napkin for the sake of this video and ripped off both backings off of this napkin. So we're going to go ahead and utilize this napkin, and we're going to put it over the entire top here. So let's get started. We're going to put over a lot of Mod Podge on the top of this. And here. So we've got tons of Mod Podge over the top of this, or glue of any sort, whatever you want to use. And we're going to lay the napkin over the top. And then I kind of press it down rather lightly, but a little forcefully. What happens is the napkin is so thin that it does like to rip a little bit. So I kind of just press it down here and there, but I do want it to stick. Now, if your napkin happens to like wrinkle or bubble, that's okay. Just, just press it down. Sometimes that adds a nice little texture to it. If you've got those wrinkles or creases or what have you, that's okay. Don't worry about it. Just get it down. I try to make sure that there is no bubbles and it's not popping up. If there is a little space, like this is a little dry a little bit, I'll just put some glue over the top. Although I don't wipe it because that may tear the napkin again, I kind of dab it a little bit with the brush, and then kind of go over it again. And I'm going to pull this up. I'm going to show you that I've got deli paper down here on my paper, so sometimes it sticks to it, and that's okay. But you can see that I went, there's a lot over the side. So what's going to happen is I'm going to let this dry. So you can either use a hair dryer and dry it, or you can kind of put it aside for an hour, work on something else, go do laundry, whatever you want to do, and then come back and then pick it up and then you can cut it. Okay, so now it's dry. So what I'm going to do is I am going to cut off the excess, and this is where you're actually going to cut off all the papers that went over, the napkin that went over, and kind of make it nice and smooth here. Getting rid of all the edges. So now we've got the card with the background and the paper. So I really wanted to show you this. Actually, I'm going to take the camera here. I really wanted to kind of show you how the papers are coming through. So here's the check register, the book paper, the sheet music. Just really pops, and you can kind of see it through the napkin. I just think that makes a nice look. And then the back doesn't have anything, so that's just the straight napkin on paper. And some people like that too. If you want to just do that, that's great. You can just do that. But I really like the look of this side. So now it's time to kind of embellish the top or the front of the card. And I got out some die cuts. I've got some butterfly die cuts. I'm kind of just trying to figure it all out, but I think I like the butterflies. And what I want to do is I kind of want to raise them. And what I do is I like to buy these foam squares. You can get them at Michael's. I actually get them at the dollar store, the 99-cent store, and they work just fine. So I'm going to put this one on first and kind of position it at the top. I will just put a foam square on each side Let it get raised a little bit here. I have glue on my fingers, so everything's sticking to my fingers. Okay, so I think I'm going to put this one kind of up here. And then I saw this little guy that looks like he's kind of, I'm going to kind of put him resting on top of the flowers. So he's tiny, so I can use these tiny squares. And I'll put one here, and then one over here. And rip that backing off. And I'm going to kind of rest him on the flower here like he's taking a sniff. And then I had, let's see, this green one. I think I'm going to do, let's see, we'll make him kind of flying this way, kind of anchoring it at the bottom. I'm also going to use these smaller squares. But you don't have to embellish right away if you don't want to. You can do another layer with acrylic paint, like doing the circles or the rings or some kind of stencil design if you want. It's really up to you at this point. But I like the napkin look so much that I really don't distort it a whole lot with paint. But it's really up to you. It's whatever you want to do. So I'm going to put him down at the bottom. And so you can kind of see that they're a little bit 3D raised. And I'm not done yet. I want to add some washi tape embellishments. So I've got a couple here that I picked out. This one says, "Hello, beautiful." I've got the black and white, which I actually kind of like a little bit. And I might do the black and white with the "Hello, beautiful." I've got some birds, the birds on a perch. I don't know if you can see those. And then this one, I like to reinforce the fold because it will get opened quite a bit, maybe a couple of times. I like to kind of reinforce with washi tape. You don't have to do this. I just do, and I don't always do it. So it's really up to you. But I chose this tape because it kind of went with the napkin background. And I'm not always as equal as I want to be. We're going to cut off the top here. Okay. Cut that off. So now I think I am going to put this black washi tape on. And washi tape you can get anywhere. They've got it at Walmart. They've got it at Michael's. Hobby Lobby always has tons of it. I like to buy it with my coupons. This is some of the stuff. I'll buy like one of the packs they have that have maybe 3 or 4 different styles, and I'll get the 40% off or the 50% off, and I just rip it. So that's kind of adding a nice little texture to it. Now I have a sticker that I was going to put on here that says, "You make me smile." So I was thinking about just kind of laying that on that. But you know what? I might say "Hello, beautiful" too down here. You know, girlfriends are sometimes help you really get through all the garbage. And I really want to reinforce how beautiful she is. She is beautiful inside and out. So we are going to just put that down. And you know what? I may actually just carry that to the back. I kind of like how that started going over. So we're going to do this on the back. And it says, hello, beautiful, hello, beautiful, hello, beautiful, in different fonts, which I really like. There we go. So we just carried that to the back, which I think that's kind of nice. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and put the sticker down. You make me smile. And then this will not be raised. And you know what? I didn't realize it was a clear. It's a clear sticker. So I may want to put this on cardstock first. So when I'm making my cards, there's always pieces that I have to cut off. And so this is one of the pieces that I am just going to use for this. Just to give it some dimension. I didn't realize that it was a clear sticker. So now we're just going to cut this out. Perfect. And so, whoops, not so perfect. A little bit of white sticking out. So we're just going to fix that. There we go. Whoops. That's why. Not so tight on the top. Okay. So I just backed that with cardstock, and now you can actually see what it says. So I'm going to put that here. And since everything else is kind of popping up, I'm just going to use my Mod Podge here just a little bit, or my glue, whatever you want to use. Just put a little bit on my finger. And again, it dries clear, so you don't really have to worry about if it seeps out. It'll dry clear, not a big deal. And where's my sock? Here's my sock. And you've got your card. And it's as simple as that.